Theo Solomon, it's a pleasure to have you, man. How are you? Thank you for coming on the show.
Very good, Dan. Good to be here. I'm excited.
I was just saying, man, you're looking fresh at the moment. I mean, you've been hitting the gym, haven't you?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know, it's summer. It's summer. Right now in London, we've got a heat wave going
Oh,
on.
no.
And I don't know if you know much about like British weather. We don't do heat ever,
No.
really. This week's like 30 degrees every single day. People are outside melting. No one knows what to do. It's all wild. So we're just trying to embrace it whilst it's here, man.
Are you in London?
I'm in London. Yeah. I've done a couple holidays this summer, but in London now.
And your heritage is Jamaican and where else?
Yeah, Jamaican and Guyanese.
Yeah.
I actually went to Carabana in Toronto, which is their version of like Carnival, with
Yeah.
my cousin earlier in the summer. And that was insane, man. Like so much soca music, dancing, vibes, like good to see like all the Caribbean community over there in Toronto, which is very similar to London. Yeah, we had a great time, man. Loved it.
But you're born in London, right? You're born in England? Yeah.
Yeah, born in South London. Yeah.
So mum or dad is from each side. And have you ever been to Jamaica? Have you ever been to South America?
Yeah, been to Jamaica ages ago. I'm overdue a visit.
What's it
It's
like?
it's a different life, man. It's a different
They all seem happy over there, you know?
Yeah, because it's the sun. Like the sun,
Yeah.
it makes me happy. They're a very proud, like, and patriotic nation as well. So for the size of the country and their population, I mean, the whole world knows about Jamaican slang and culture and music and food and things like that. So yeah, the beaches there as well, man. Like I've hit the beaches around Europe, but you hit the beach in Jamaica, you're just looking at a postcard. So
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, man, I need to go back ASAP.
And I tell you what, those Jamaicans, they're so fast. They're so they're always winning the 100-meter race, or they're always in the, you know.
We've got that one on lock. Like no one else is. The US, like give us a run for our money. No pun intended at points, but that's our race. You know, I mean, 100, 200, 400.
Did you do much sport growing up?
Yeah, man. So I did like the standard rugby, football, basketball, but I did martial arts for like, I think I did martial arts for like 10, 11 years, like jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must be pretty good then.
I was all right. I was all right.
Shit.
I had my black belt when I was in my teens and things like that. So
you've got your black belt in jiu-jitsu.
I got my like junior black belt when I was like 15, junior black belt, and then I started training with the adults when I was like 16.
So when do you get like first dan, second, that sort of ranking?
Yeah, that's after like adult black belt, and then you go into
so that's like 30 years.
Yeah, no, honestly,
yeah,
I think he was like fifth dan, and he was in his 60s.
Damn.
And yeah, he just like, no, he was maybe even older than in his 60s, but he could literally just grab my wrist like this, and he just like that, and I'd just be on the floor like just in so much agony, and he'd just be there laughing. Like he was just complete master pro, lived and breathed it.
Yeah. And so you're doing these sports, and when does your mind think, okay, I kind of want to be an actor? Where does that come into play? How early are you?
Do you know what? I'd say jiu-jitsu and acting have been like the two most constant things in my life.
Wow.
Because my mum, she sent me and my sister to Stagecoach, which is like a Saturday school where it's like acting, singing, dancing. and we did that every Saturday. And that was like my introduction to it when I was maybe like 9, 10 years old. And then from Stagecoach, went to this place called Sylvia Young. From Sylvia Young, we're doing like GCSE drama and A-level drama and working my way up like that. So it's been a constant. I'd say from like the age of 10, 11, I
Really?
said to myself,
that early?
yeah.
What sort of, was there movies that got you into it? Like, were there certain people you looked up to that you're like, I want to be like him?
I wouldn't say there was a specific icon,
No?
but no, like we used to love Disney Channel. Like,
Really? That's funny, yeah.
Yeah, Disney Channel, like all them kind of shows, like That's So Raven and
Same
like
here, man. We grew up on the same stuff, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Me and my sister, we just kind of like inhaled that content, and yeah, it was just always wanted to do it. Just always just thought, that's what I want to do. There's nothing else I really want to do. Maybe a footballer. If I could
Yeah.
yeah. Rewind the clock for like me being like 3 years old and just work at being a footballer, maybe that. But other than a footballer, like actors, for me, I love it.
I feel like you probably grew up on Dragon Ball Z too, right?
Oh my days, man. Changed my life. Like me and my cousins love that show to this day.
What a
like,
show.
Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball. Yeah, that's.
Oh, you're
that's
still on it now. You still watch a little bit?
Dragon Ball Super, that came out, I want to say like 3 years ago. They basically did it from Dragon Ball Z as if GT never happened. And yeah, me and my friends, we loved it, man. We loved it. Like that show, like Vegeta, Goku, Piccolo.
So they're a part of you.
I love that show. Yeah.
So were you ever around like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and all that sort of stuff as well?
Yeah. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblade. I think
Beyblade, yeah.
They all got banned in my school though. Like
what?
Yeah. I don't know what it was like in North America, but Pokemon cards, they were mad. Like in schools in the UK, every kid just turned into like a little hustler, and it was as if cards were like currency in the like just had every school.
It was the same at our school in Australia. Yeah.
With their cards, yeah. So Pokemon cards got banned. And like they've made a return. Like my little cousin now. Yeah. See her the other day, and she's got like, I know it's moved on. There's so many like different Pokemon now. I'm like, what?
There's too many, I think.
Yeah.
I can't even remember their names.
You know what I mean? There's so many. And she's like, yeah, like got her shinies and things like that. So it's funny how things come full circle.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? And so you're 11 and 12. When was your first sort of taste of the acting? What, you did theater at school?
Yeah. So I was doing GCSE drama in school, but I'd say the first like proper project I did was this film called Untouchable when I was 18. Did like another little theatre production, but right after that I went to drama school quite young. I went to drama school when I was 19. A lot of the other people were like 23, 24.
So you were quite a youngling, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you fit in?
Yeah, I fit in. It was really daunting. I went to this drama school called Drama Centre, which is known over here, like in acting circles, as like the trauma center.
Really?
Yeah, that's honestly what people call it, because the training is so intense. So we were doing like 5 days a week, 11 hours a day.
Jeez. And how did you comprehend that? Were you loving that, or was it too much for you, or what?
the thing is, I didn't even know it was going to be like that. So I've auditioned, I've got in, and then I've just spent that summer just having fun with my friends, like going to festivals and that. And then September's come around, I've started drama school, and Eddie, my friend, a director who I met on the day, he's been like, "Are you ready for this?" I'm thinking, what do you mean? And then, yeah, straight into the deep end,
Damn.
singing classes, acting classes,
Singing
ballet.
as well. Did you know that
Yeah.
was going to be a thing?
Um, not not in the way that it was. It was like studying like chord progressions and
Yeah.
listening to classical pieces of music, and it
Oh,
was
okay.
yeah, it was the full array, like the full training, like traditional acting
Mm.
training went through. Much better for it. You go in a boy and you come out a man the other side. Like
I was going to say, do you think you really became an actor once that was over?
for sure, man, for sure. I remember
Yeah.
like there was this sheet with like all our faces on like the first day of drama school, and we're all just like bright eyed and like our headshots on the way out.
You're just broken.
Just
Everyone's
yeah,
absolutely fucked.
like stoic, just like you can see what we've gone through in our eyes.
You know what
So
I'm imagining? Have you seen the movie Whiplash? That's what I'm imagining.
yeah, with Miles Teller.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was brutal at the same time. It was brutal, but we needed it, man, because this
Yeah.
industry can be as well. So it's a good preparation, get your craft down. The thing is, you don't really learn about the industry. That's another part of this whole game that
Yeah.
you've got
Why
to.
is that? No one tells anyone anything.
No, not really. I think in your final year, you're kind of given a little bit of a chat, but it's mainly just the craft that we focus on in drama school, and then you go out into the world. You're just in the ocean, man. The big
Yeah.
act. Yeah.
And how do you stand out amongst so many people trying to do the same thing? It's
Mm,
tough.
yeah, I guess you've got to I'm gonna contradict myself a little bit, because I want to say find what your niche is and what you're good at.
Mm.
In another way, going to drama school, it also it basically gives you the belief that you can do and play any character. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
That going
Mm.
to drama said to me, I can play, anyone with any accent, any status, and it really gives you that range. And I think if I hadn't have gone there, someone who speaks like heightened, like received pronunciation, I would have been like, I'm just doing like an imitation of that person. I'm not really that person. Whereas going to drama school, you're like, I know I can do that because I've done it for 3 years in there. Do you see what I mean? Um,
Yeah. So, what in terms of gaming? What was your background in that? Did you play much as you grew up, or were
yeah,
you? Yeah.
my two games. Well, I had three games which I really played a lot, but
Yeah.
my two main was RuneScape and World of Warcraft, and like FIFA with my friends. But RuneScape and World of Warcraft, they're
Wow.
like they're like my go-tos, man.
That's really nerdy, but I love it.
I was a nerd, man. I was a nerd. I'm still a bit of a nerd. RuneScape, yeah. After school,
My girlfriend's the
go,
same. She loved RuneScape as well. Yeah, it was just addicting, wasn't it?
mate. That was life. That like my character in that game is more important than real life. I'm living in the game right now. RuneScape was the real world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cutting trees for hours to get my wood kind level up. But it was important to me back then. I was heavily
So,
invested.
is there a point where you gave up gaming and you slowed down a little bit?
I'd say as I got more into acting, I
Yeah.
slowed down my gaming, especially like even World of Warcraft, because I was just playing it so
Like
much.
we're talking hundreds of hours.
I remember looking at like my playtime, and I was like, I don't even think I can fit that number on a calculator. Like, wild.
Yeah.
It was. I'm not very good at balance, so
Oh,
yeah, I
so you
drifted out of game
obsess over things.
massively, massively, massively.
Really? So did
Yeah,
you
man.
obsess over this character of Wyll?
Yeah. It came more naturally to me, Will, I'd say. It came much more naturally to me. I was given the license to just basically say, do what you want with Will. We like what you have brought to us initially, and just explore that. So Will was, I kind of felt I had him from day one, to be honest.
Mm.
Sometimes when you're on like a theatre production, or if you're doing TV, you're thinking, how do I, what's the essence of this character? But I knew Will straight away. I knew his morals and his values and things like that. So the one thing I'd say which is much different from him to me is our accents. Like he's got a much more like refined way of speaking than I do in my London accent.
Was that
Uh,
something you developed or they wanted or
yeah, that's something that I kind of brought to the table
really?
because yeah, because he's from nobility, it made sense. It made sense. It doesn't mean that just because you're from nobility that your exterior and the way you interact with people has to be super refined. But,
Yeah.
coming from that background, even though, everything that happened to him afterwards, I felt it was important that, he had that clarity. And I don't know, my voice as well, would that work? Maybe. Who knows?
So yeah, I reckon maybe, but because you're a great actor. But I want to know with the character. So you initially were on the game for other characters, and then they wanted to change up the character of Will, and they brought you in. Is that how it sort of worked?
That's how it worked. Yeah, that's how it
Right.
worked. I got brought in pretty late in the game. Um,
We talking last year?
Talking last year, man. We're
Yeah.
talking. Whereas a lot of the other Origin characters had been on this game for like 3, 4 years. So I got brought in, yeah, maybe like November last year, and I was told, yeah, it's a big character.
We
You
got a lot
know
of
what?
work for you, Theo.
Yeah, no, a lot of work, and like the amount of hours I thought I was gonna do, I did like way over double that
Wow.
sort of. Yeah, but
But that's
I did
exciting, isn't it?
massively exciting, and projects I've done before, theatre or TV. Usually, I'm working on them for maybe a theatre production. If you did 6 weeks, 5, 6 weeks rehearsal, 6 weeks, 7 weeks on stage, you'd be on it for like 3, 3.5 months. Whereas this, by far, is the longest project that I've done as an actor consistently.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, 7, 8 months. It sounds like a short time to maybe other people who do different types of work, but for me, that's a long time. So
No,
I
I
really
think it's
just
a
got,
long time. Yeah.
yeah, just got to like immerse myself in it, because there was times where going to work and put on the cloak of Will and take it off at the end of the day, become Theo again, and then before I know it, the next day I'm back as Will again. Do you know what I mean? I was consistently, and I think that's why it kind of helped, because I didn't do it over 3, 4 years. I did it like, do you know what I mean? A continuous stream. So he
He
was
was
just
always
there.
front of mind. Yeah.
Yeah, he was always in my mind. So yeah, no, it was good, man.
And when you come home, how do you decompress from a long day like that? And then because you're going to probably come back the next day, possibly. Does he
Yeah.
ever even leave you during that time?
Mm, no, not really. Not really.
Because you probably go home and think about the day, and then you think about tomorrow, and constantly thinking about this job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just used the gym as like an outlet. Like we
Yeah.
were at Pit Stop. That's where we worked. And around the corner there was this gym, literally like a 2 minute walk away. So every day, like I'd go into work and put on the cloak of Will and put my heart and soul into it. And then I'd finish the day and I'd go to the gym. That was like my routine. Literally, if you ask the people at Pit Stop, like every time Theo just rocked in with his gym stuff, do like 4 hours of Wyll. Like it could be the most sweet, tender moments, or it could be the most hyped up, intense, battle cries coming out of me. But I had to go to the gym at the end. So yeah, that's what kept me going. That's what kept me going.
There's got to be a day where you skipped the gym, right? Surely.
There was a couple days.
They're intense days, They take it out of you.
They do. They really, really do. If you say to like the average person, put on a suit, a motion capture suit, and you're going to be in a room and you're going to deliver these lines, they'd be like, I can do that. What do you mean?
Sounds easy, yeah.
That's so easy. But when you're doing it, it's intense, man. It's like getting to grips with even how you stand in the suit. So before every line, you have to have something called base pose that you have to be in before you say a line and return to. Do you know what I mean? That will help out the people who work on the game mechanics afterwards.
Yeah.
So even just getting to grips with that and making something like that move fluid and naturally, you have to get to grips with. So
no, and what about the rewrites for this character? So everything was rewritten. How did it work? Like, because you were given a lot of free reign with the character, I'm guessing, and they were writing as you're going, or how did that work?
Yeah, writing as I was going.
Yeah.
Most of it was set in stone, though. Most of it was set in stone. I don't really know too much about that side. I had a lot of lines to get through. I had a lot of lines to get through.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so for me, it was like, and I didn't know much about the version of Wyll before. I didn't want that to influence my performance in any way.
I was going to say, did you look at it or not? You stayed right away. Yeah.
I just wanted to come at it from a fresh perspective and
100%.
give my on the piece. But the writers, like, I was literally just focused on Wyll. I was focused on Wyll. Me doing Wyll and my relationship with the directors, that was my only focus. And because I had so many lines to do, that's all I could do, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't think into
You didn't have time to think about anything else.
Oh, I didn't know, like, I had no time. Like, I remember asking sometimes, like, oh, how many like lines do I have left? And they just be like, listen, bro, like, you don't want to know. a lot of lines. Sometimes they told me, I just be like, oh wow, like that is a lot. So but in terms of the rewrites, no, I didn't know too much about what was going on there.
Is there any specific line or day that stand out to you, or moment?
In terms of, oh yeah, I remember my first day. It was a 3-hour session. And
nerves,
not knowing what to expect. Not knowing what to expect, and a bit of trepidation. I'd done a little bit of motion capture before.
Okay.
But nothing, nowhere near like on this kind of scale. So, things like when I was talking to you about base pose becoming second nature, I just had to learn just
on the go, yeah.
That kind of stuff. And I remember that line, Advocatus Diaboli.
Wow. I think that's the one, yeah.
I think that was the first line that I recorded. And I remember that specific first day because it was no like conversational dialogue. It was spells. It was 3 hours. These kind of.
So they threw you in the deep end early,
bro. Yeah, man. I was
sink or swim.
Yeah, sink or swim. Like, it wasn't like they were like impassioned delivering of these spells. That was 3 hours. So it was a bit of a baptism of fire. But oh, is this what's it's going to be like every I was like, what's going on? So yeah, but like I worked my way into it slowly, and then I understood what I was doing a little bit
and
more.
and when you hit that first emotional scene, do you remember that moment?
Mm, yeah, like
Because that
the
would have been a
Rome.
contrast, right, from the stuff you've been doing, or was it actually a gradual build up to that?
Um, I'd say a gradual build up to when I started doing
Okay.
some of more like tender romantic scenes,
Yeah.
and they're actually my favorite scenes to
Really?
do.
Yeah.
Favorite scenes to do. If you ask any director who worked with me at Pitstop, like I loved the romance scenes.
Really?
I,
What
I
was it about them? There was just something authentic about it, or what was it?
yeah, because on the exterior, Will's this. He's a warrior, man. He's a
Mm.
warrior. He's a slayer of monsters and beasts, and that's what you get when you look at him. But he's got this like depth of like this like emotional pool within him, and you get to access that within the romancing, these like tender moments. And it's always nice to see like a big, strong, imposing warrior show that side that you wouldn't necessarily associate with them. So
Hmm.
that contrast is so nice to play with, because he's so charismatic and strong in certain scenarios with other characters, but in those moments you see how like vulnerable he can be. So I just really enjoyed playing those moments, man.
And first mocap experience, how would you sum it up for someone that is maybe getting into it, or just for the viewers at home? How would you sum up that the motion capture side of it, the technical side?
um I think about motion capture as a fusion of TV and stage acting, and I've done like a lot of audiobooks as well, and
Ah,
audiobooks.
okay.
So
Right.
it's a fusion of those, because you're relying on everything being in synergy. So, I mean, your voice, but also your posture and your spine. That's what really helps as well. The directors, all the directors I worked with and all the sound engineers, they're incredible. They really, really know exactly what to say to me in order to get out of me, what they want, sort of thing.
Who were you
Um,
working with in the sorry to cut you off. Who were you working with from the directing point of view?
I was working with Tilly, Fraser,
Oh,
Kirsty.
wow. Everyone.
Uh, I
Yeah.
was working with I was working with everyone. Um,
Did you ever
the
work with
dir-
Neil?
I worked with Neil. I worked
Yeah.
with Neil. He directed me on a couple of sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. Even sometimes. So when you're in the volume and you're doing the work, obviously, well, maybe other characters did this, but I did. I was never acting with another actor in the volume. Yeah. So not once was I doing that. But what I did have sometimes, if the other character's line had been recorded, I could get that played to me, and then I could play off that line, which is an actor's dream. If you've got something to work against, then
Mm.
that's perfect. So yeah, no, Neil's brilliant, man. Neil's brilliant. And even post the game's release, him just giving me advice and just bits of wisdom, man. Because honestly, without him and a couple other people in the building at Pit Stop, I would be lost, because
Really?
I had no idea all this stuff post the release was going to happen. Honestly,
Nothing. No, absolutely no idea how big the game was going to be.
no, no, no. Like I did not know. Well, like
Oh.
people told me, and I was like, oh, like yeah, it's going to be a big game. Like I didn't understand the scope of it.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
no, yeah, honestly, like, and I remember getting towards the end, because I hadn't announced that I was playing Wyll. Some of the other characters had been announced, and they were, posting on their socials and things like that. I hadn't had the green light to announce it. So I got the green light, and then I was like, okay, I need to announce this. How do I announce it? Even just a simple thing as announcing it. What do I do? Chatted to Neil. He was like, do a post on your Instagram, then I'll post it on mine, and then that'll be your announcement.
What a legend.
Yeah, he's a G, a real G. So I posted it, and posting it to people I've worked with and friends and things like that. And then I think it was like, yeah, when Neil posted it, someone got hold of it, and then it just blew up. Yeah, it's just out there. And then there was this Reddit, thread, and everyone was like, "This is the new guy playing a Wyll. Like, what's he done? Like, look at his Instagram." Like, I was just like going through the comments. I was like, "Oh my days!" Like, love the passion. I was loving the passion from the fans, and yeah. So when that happened with the Reddit thread, I was like, "Oh, this may be bigger than I thought."
Are you nervous to see the reaction, especially because you're taking over someone else? Like, it's a really tough position, but thankfully it all worked out in the end. Everyone loves you, but were you nervous at a little bit?
I wouldn't say I was nervous,
No, that's good. Confident.
Yeah, I was confident. Like, believe in my ability.
Yeah.
All the actors that have been cast are brilliant. Everyone's brilliant. So you just got to have that self-worth. I'm here for a reason, not get anything like imposter syndrome or that. Just know I'm here for a reason, and I'm going to do a brilliant job, and just going with that mindset every single day. You know what I mean?
You're right. Like, if you're surrounded by all these amazing actors, you think, okay, I must be not too bad if they've cast me around all these people. Yeah, you're right. Interesting.
Sure. Yeah, and yeah, I didn't really have time to be nervous. Like we said, I was just in at the deep end, man. So yeah, the whole time.
So did you see the reviews and everything? Currently it's one of the best review games of all time, and you've been looking at the videos on YouTube and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I haven't played the game, so I'm living through other people playing the game. So I'm watching like the content on YouTube, and it's mad seeing how everything fits together. So obviously when I'm working all these 6-7 months, it's just me, the directors and the engineers. And when I see the game, the graphics and the designers, and I see the writing come to life, and then I say a line, the player says a line, and then Amelia, she comes in with dope narration, and I'm like, oh my days, like I see how it's working now. It's so good. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm so happy people are enjoying it.
Do you think you'll play it, man, or are you going to stay away, or what's your plan?
No, I need to play it.
You want to play it? Okay.
I need to get a better computer, and then I'm going to play it, and I will be hooked. I will be hooked. I know myself. I know myself. I'm not going to stop. It will be like 4-5 a.m. sessions.
And would you ever think about streaming like Neil and some of the other guys that are doing? Would you ever do that?
I'd be up for it.
Yeah,
I'd be up for it. Yeah, for sure. It'd be a lot of fun, I think, because I see Neil is doing playthroughs.
Yeah.
Now, I think that would be a great idea, because then you're engaging with the community, and the community is just the Baldur's Gate community.
They're amazing. They really are, man.
All the messages I get, so appreciated. Like, got nothing but love for them, honestly.
Yeah, it's amazing. And speaking of the fans, I've got a few questions here, man, from the fans. The first one is, I noticed you've got a cat on your profile pic, Theo. Are you a cat or a dog lover? God, they really stalk, man. You got to.
They deep dived. Man. I would say I was a dog person. Yeah. I got love for dogs.
Okay.
But then my mum, she got a she got a kitten, which is the kitten in that picture, Ziggy. She got that kitten like 3 years ago.
Oh,
And
stole your heart.
yeah, it changed my perspective. Do you know what? People that don't like cats probably haven't had a cat. And I was like that. I didn't really understand them. Like, you see a cat on the road and you're like, why are you so standoffish? Why have you got such attitude with me? And then, do you know what I mean? Because they have got a bit of an attitude,
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah.
And then once you've had one and you've seen it grow and things like that, you kind of get them a little bit more. You respect them. So
There's a mutual respect. Yeah.
Yeah, mutual respect. Like,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, cats and dogs, I'd say equal for me.
That's cool. That's cool. Tag Y Hag. First off, great work, Theo. Phenomenal job. Wyll is a great character. Your acting adds a lot of depth. How was the character explained to you? Did you already know his backstory before you started recording?
A little bit. Not not extensively. Not extensively.
Just sort of a bit of his past, yeah.
I knew a bit of his past, but I guess what helped me quite a lot was people had been on this game for 3 or 4 years. The directors had been working on it for 3 or 4 years. So any little question I had, they just drew that from memory instantly. So that really helped me. But I was, because there's so much information and places and things that happen. I was learning a lot of that on the job, but I just knew, I just wanted to get his physicality and his voice down. Like, they were the main things to get down for Wyll early doors.
When did you? When was your last session, by the way? If you're allowed to say, like, it was recent, right? And I'm curious, have you been able to let go of him?
Yeah, my last session was,
because that would have been tough to after all those months, and then all of a sudden, it stopped.
Yeah. You're like, what do I do now? Honestly, you're like,
it's like a new chapter of life. Yeah.
And like I said, it's the longest project I've ever been involved in. So yeah, letting him go is tough. But do you know what? Everything that's happened since the release has been like it's just been another level. Do you know what I mean? Because I never really got to know the origin characters. Like, I met Neil and Sam and Jem, but like some of the other ones I haven't really met, like maybe in person, like, see them, but never like have a conversation with them. So it's going to be exciting in the future when we're all linking up together.
Yeah. That's going to be so cool.
Yeah.
Are you announced for any of those cons?
Yeah. So I'm doing Comic-Con in London.
Oh, awesome. When's that?
That's at the end of October. Yeah.
Nice.
All 3 days. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome.
And that's going to be your first one.
First Comic-Con. Yeah. I don't know what to expect, man.
Hopefully some hygienic people, guys. If you're listening and you want to meet Theo, just deodorant, clean up.
I
get sweaty in there, man.
Honestly, I do not know what to expect. A few of my friends who are gamers, they've said, "Oh, we're going to come through and see."
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. I'm going in just, blind. Really,
you'll love it.
Yeah, no, it should be great.
Because the community's so cool for this game, and you'll have a fantastic. You'll be with all the Neil and everyone, so it should be a blast. Anyone in that area, you have to go to that. That's going to be good turnout.
I'm almost cosplaying Wyll now with my hair. Like,
I was going to say, are you slowly trying to get there? Are you
slowly like becoming shake him off? Like, because when I started, my hair was like that long. Do you know what I mean? So this is, it's weird. I have kind of become him, like through this process, growing my hair out. So
Giro B Gamer. Every time I see Wyll in camp, he's drinking from a large goblet. Does he have a drinking problem, Theo?
Maybe. Listen, he's living a tough life out here. Living a tough life out here. Give him a break. Like, let him have a drink every now and again. Yeah. So I wouldn't say he's got a drinking problem, but yeah, he likes to have a bit now and again.
This one's a bit of a spoiler, Tom H. If you were faced with a choice of your hometown being destroyed in a disaster or taking a deal with the devil, which would you choose? Theo. Jesus.
No, man.
I'm setting you up for failure with that one.
No, that's a bit of a bad question. I don't know. I can't do pacts with devils, man.
No.
I'm not messing with the devilish energy, so
yeah.
I'm gonna have to say South London. See.
Yeah, right. Would you, spoilers, guys, would you have killed or saved Karlach? Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a tough one. Me, you're asking me what would I have done?
Yeah.
Oof. I would have saved Karlach. Yeah. Whether it's the wrong or right decision, like maybe that's just because Sam is so convincing in those bits that I've seen. But I would.
Yeah, Sam's fantastic. Yeah.
I would save Karlach for sure.
Shiva, first of all, Wyll is my favorite companion in the game. I love how self-sacrificial he is and how he needs to learn to be selfish. What is your favorite relationship between Wyll and another companion?
I like the relationship with Astarion. Yeah, the little bits I recorded with Astarion are cool. That like cheeky banter that they have. I guess Wyll can be very down the line at points, and Astarion's just so, I don't even know the word, man. Like, can be like language. The way they kind of bounce off each other, being two opposites, but sort of they like work well together. Their synergy. So I'd say his relationship with Astarion's good. And wait, could you repeat the first part of that question?
Yeah. They said, I love how self-sacrificial he is and how he needs to learn to be selfish.
Yeah. Listen, Will's the person who, if everybody's in danger, he's jumping in front of the bullets to save everyone. He's that kind of person, do you know what I mean? So he's always going to put others before himself. And I don't know, you could say learn to be a bit more selfish, but I love that quality about him. That empathetic quality of, you know, thinking about others before himself. So yeah, maybe a little bit more selfish, but I like him how he is.
Yeah. Misaka 9982, was it more challenging coming along to this project at a later date? And how did you feel by the end? I guess, how did you feel about the character by the end of it?
Like I said, it was a bit like I threw myself in head first, but playing catch up a little bit, playing a couple years catch up to everyone else. But everyone there brought me into the family so amazingly. So I'd say it was a challenge, but a challenge that I was very, very happy to be a part of. And sorry, I forgot the second part of that question again.
I know, everyone's getting two in. They're trying to be sneaky and get two questions in.
Double back.
Oh, I've lost it now too. Sorry, Miss. I've lost it. It's in the nether now. I'm sorry. Was it tough not recording with other actors in the room? That's from Tommy Lucas.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? Because I never did it once, it was, you know, when it's like, it's all you know, so you've got nothing to compare it to. If I'd had them in the room at the beginning and lost them halfway through, maybe that would have been different. But not, I wouldn't say it was difficult. Like, I wouldn't say it was difficult because of how good the directors are. Because of how good the directors are. They are just so on point, man. Every single line. They know exactly the right nuance and the right flavor and just the right amount of intensity for each scene. They just know exactly what it is. So you're just working so in tandem. And obviously, like, the further you get along is the more they learn what makes me tick and how to get certain things out of me. So
Yeah.
no, it's like green screen or something. Do you know what I mean? I remember in drama school we were told one of the most important things for an actor to have is their imagination, man. And you've literally just got to let it run free and do its thing. Yeah.
I'd love to see you, man, another game where you get to play off someone in the mocap, like, in the same room and
That would
really
be
dig
cool.
deep. I think you'd really shine. Not that you didn't in
For
this
sure.
game, because everyone says you've got great chemistry with this character, so at the end of the day, but I'd love to see you, man, take on more mocap, more games.
Definitely in the future. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Couple more. Krovos, did you do the dance mocap yourself or was it another actor?
Ah! Dance mocap. I danced in the mocap suit. I hope they used it. I hope they used my dancing in the game. 'Cause I'm a good dancer, man. I'm a good dancer.
I was going to say, I reckon you are. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
What sort of dancing? Contemporary sort of?
yeah, more
Yeah.
well, like I said back in the day when we did Stagecoach, we used to do like street dance back then. So I'd say I'm more of like a street dancer. I did like a bit of break dancing back in the day when I was young as well. So
Do you still use that in anything these days? That
do I
skill?
dancing?
Yeah.
Hmm, hmm, the physicality wise, maybe more when I'm doing theatre or something like that. How to move your body, and martial arts is another thing that helps me a lot with the physicality. In fact, martial arts actually helped me with the physicality for Wyll as well. Just his battle stance and
Yeah.
the way he holds himself as a warrior when you're getting ready to fight, because
I
you're
noticed
not
that.
like, you're always going to hold your orthodox or southpaw. So
So that was fully intentional. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. James Campbell, would you play KSI in a biopic film, Theo?
Uh,
Uh, that's a crazy question.
that's
Uh,
random. I mean, why not? Why not, man? I remember back in the day the FIFA videos, so why not?
yeah.
KSI, shout me, I'm ready.
Oh shit. Um, AKK. I noticed Will had the most flirtatious dialogue with Lae'zel of all people, which I find fascinating. Did you have any insight into what draws him to her?
Hmm.
Personally, I believe that given his own issues with confidence in himself, that he chose her because he envies and respects her supreme honesty and sense of self. Great insight by these fans, man. I mean,
Wow. These, these fans are the pros. Like
I know, man. I'm impressed.
these fans are the pros. Possibly he sees her confidence and he's drawn to that. Maybe he's suffered a lot of heartbreak and he's looking for someone to reinstill that confidence back in him. Even the just going off that, some of the Well, the heartbreak scenes in in the game, like when Wyll gets a knockback.
Oh man. Yeah,
Bro, like,
that's devastating.
feel it, man. I remember even recording them bits like, oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. So I don't know. It's a hard one to answer. It's
Do
a
you
hard
do
one
you
to answer.
find it difficult to get into that state for those scenes? Because you said you loved them before, but
Mm.
how easy is it for you to get into that emotional state?
That's the place I love to be.
That's where yeah.
Stay. Yeah. Um, I just love like intense, and it's not even necessarily romance scenes. I just like scenes that are intense, even if it's like a heated moment between two characters. I just love that intensity where you can feel it in the room and everybody's kind of zoned in and laser focused. Um, but you do have to bring yourself to a certain place. You know, you have to get your breath right, you have to get your body relaxed, and you have to be prepared to really get into the skin of this person in order to deliver the authentic performance, for sure, man.
Where does that come from? Does that come from you personally? Are you a very deep sort of person? Are you an emotional person usually?
Mm, I wouldn't say I'm particularly extreme. Do you know what? I'd say all actors are emotional to a degree. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what? I'd go further. I'd say all humans are emotional to a degree, but it's about to what degree we express that emotional
Yes.
depth. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because we've all got everything in us, and then we might be conditioned to be like over life to be a bit more shy or a bit more
Mhm.
confident. We've all got that in us. So our job as actors is to just try and what's that makes Theo Solomon tick that I can use and unlock that so I can deliver the performance as well. So, but those kind of moments, like I'm into, they come quite easily to me.
But yeah, but what happens then when let's say Theo isn't as emotional, but Will has to get to a deeper level? You know,
Mm.
maybe that's not for you. Maybe you're fine. But if someone else, there's a scene that's maybe they've never portrayed that sort of emotion in their own life. Is that? Do you think that'd be tough?
Yeah, I mean, this is why we have to be as actors so empathetic with the characters that we play. You know,
Yeah.
we can't judge them. We can't judge them for what they've done. We literally have to see the world through their eyes. Yeah. And once you start seeing the world through people's eyes, even if it's, you know, a villain character, once you start to see the world through their eyes, then you start to understand their decisions a little bit more. And once you understand their decisions, you understand what got them to that point in their life. So I guess it's about knowing their history a little bit as well. And
Mhm.
once all those things marry up and you really understand the person, then it kind of comes more instantly. And yeah, you glide into it.
Two more, brother. Thank you for your time. Critical
Yeah.
ad hole. What is Will's greatest fear and what does his heart desire? Two questions again. I'm sorry, man. They keep throwing two in.
What's his greatest
We'll
fear?
start with greatest fear, yeah. And I am putting you on the spot. So,
Yeah, no,
have,
his great no, Will's greatest fear is to maybe like not be not be maybe not be wanted or not be needed because he's such a protector of people and he's so selfless and he's always the guy to step up to the plate. And maybe that even comes from a place of lack. Do you know what I mean? I'm lacking
yeah,
something, so I need to show you that I am this person. So for him to maybe, I don't know, if he couldn't fight or if he couldn't defend people from anyone, I think that would be his
I
greatest
think
fear,
you're
to
right. Yeah,
not be needed by anyone.
I
And sorry,
100% agree. And the second one, what does his heart desire? I mean,
his
I'm
heart,
guessing it's love, but admiration.
I'd say I'd say love.
Mm.
I'd say, and a family.
Family. I was going to say family. Yeah.
Family, like where he can hang up his boots one day and just go home to his family and just be calm and just be in their presence because he's had such a rough upbringing. I think family life is what he truly desires.
Beautiful. Thank you, man, for coming on. I've had a great time. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it. Now,
No problem.
so you're on Insta. What else
I'm
are
on.
you on? That's it?
I'm just on Instagram. I'm just on
You make it
Instagram.
easy for me, man.
My name just Theo_Solomon. That's me.
And you
And
might stream in the future. You're still contemplating.
yeah, no, I'm gonna be doing Cameo
Oh,
soon
nice. Yeah.
for that. And yeah, I'm definitely thinking about streaming, maybe doing a playthrough. So watch this space for that one. I'll announce that on my Instagram.
Nice. And is there anything you wanted to say to the fans of Baldur's Gate, man, that have listened today?
Yeah, like you guys are like so passionate. All the messages you send, like I read them all the content. Like I'm just glad you guys are enjoying the game. Like I said in the start of this interview, I wasn't expecting any of this. So to see like how much everybody's into it and enjoying it and rating the game, we made it for you. So yeah, thank you again. Appreciate it.
It's fantastic, man. Make sure you follow Theo, guys, on Instagram. Send him nice messages. Um, and before I let you go, brother, can Wyll say anything to Dan? Can he come alive for a
Can
split
Wyll,
second here?
what would you like Wyll to say, Dan?
Whoa. Um, what,
I need to get in my
shit.
stance.
I'm happy with whatever you've got, man. Like whatever you can think of. I don't want to give you lines, but anything.
Dan Allen, this has been Wyll Ravengard signing out.
Ooh, that was crisp. Straight in. He hasn't left you, man. He's still there. If Larian need you back, call him up, guys. He's ready. He's ready for another 9 months. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, let me finish summer first. Let me finish summer first, and then.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate your time.